We're back now with a very wet Sunday forecast. This is a live look over Southfield this morning. So you may want to grab your umbrellas before you head out the door because yes, rain is moving in throughout Metro Detroit. It hasn't happened here in downtown Detroit just yet, but this is a look at current radar. The first system has weakened, but the threat isn't over yet. So we have 7 First Alert meteorologist Hallie Vogel, who has been tracking this all morning. Hallie?
And good morning. And this is just one of the systems coming through, but we have several more. So the problem is just trying to time out each batch as it comes through from now all the way into Tuesday. We have rounds of storms, but we have plenty of dry hours between those rounds. So we're talking about the summer heat. You're feeling that. It's warm, it's muggy this morning. It's going to be hot and humid this afternoon. And there is no change to that air mass until we get into Wednesday, until the systems pass through. And then we'll talk about our storm chances. So a weakening trend this morning, could get an isolated storm this afternoon, and then more storms come tonight. And we'll see rounds here in the coming days before we finally cool off. But temperature right now is 73 degrees, rather hazy and overcast, a south wind at 8 miles per hour. We watched the first round through the overnight hours move through Chicago and then took a little dive toward Fort Wayne and really lost steam and instability, becoming showers for us here on the northern side of this system. And then we're also watching a line moving through Milwaukee towards Chicago. We're going to be on the northern edges, maybe clipped, especially if you're south of I-94. We'll watch for that into the late afternoon. And then as we get into tonight, in another round, so you can see how we are dealing with, of course, these little impulses coming through, these little pieces of energy until finally things quiet down by midweek. But you can see these showers coming through. I do have lightning tracker on. It's not that kind of system at this point. We're seeing through western Lenawee County maybe a little bit more steady, heavier rain up toward Lapeer, pretty scattered. It doesn't mean we can't completely rule out an isolated thunderstorm because I do have it in the mix, especially as things heat up a bit in the afternoon, but it looks very specific, isolated, does not look widespread. Now temperatures are in the 70s, as warm as 76 in Lapeer, 77 in Mount Clemens, and 71 degrees in Ann Arbor. We have high dew points. We know the humidity is there. We're feeling it, and this really covers the region too. We're seeing dew points in the low 70s, upper 60s down to our south. This air mass is what we're tapping into for the next several days, so there's no change there. We press forward into the afternoon. Our temperatures rise into the mid to upper 80s with an isolated storm chance. Here's our hour-by-hour forecast. So coming through this morning, now we get into the afternoon about noon or 1 o'clock, and you can see 1 or 2 of these storms just really trying to survive that line coming across Lake Michigan. It looks like the best chance for a few of those would be north of Detroit, and we'll continue that into the evening. And then we focus our attention on tonight. So after about 8 or 9 o'clock, storms start to develop. Some very heavy downpours, flooding downpours a possibility, but also a marginal risk for damaging wind gusts and hail. We shift into tomorrow. The morning looks dry. Late afternoon and evening, more storms come into play. Again, we're in a marginal risk. That continues into Monday night and Tuesday morning until finally that system moves out and we cool off. Just to remind you too that our temperatures will be in the 80s, but it'll feel more like the 90s today, even hotter tomorrow. As we touch 90 on Monday, we finally cool off, lower the humidity by Wednesday.